Alright, just a quick update on my TRX6. Pretty much finished with most of the mods, and I wanted to focus on just stuff that you can buy from Traxxas and cheap for the most part, and you can change this thing without hacking it up too bad, right? Without just, destroying the body or destroying the body shock tower panels, whatever they call those. The only thing I did, which might be a little destructive, is I took about 1.5 inches off the back of this, which, you don't have to do that. I did it because, I like my approach and descend angles, whatever you call the rear one, I can't remember, to be 90 degrees, right? I like to be able to go flat up against something and climb right up it. And I know it's probably, most would probably put a bumper on there, but I'm just going to leave that Traxxas. That's a TRX4 Sport. I think that's the front, and then I have a rear one on the front of this guy. And again, I have the low C mini T front springs on this guy. I have 4 mediums in the back, and up front I have the soft ones, and I kind of wish I had 4 more soft ones. I'd have to buy a whole nother set, 2 more sets to get them, because they don't just sell you the soft ones. So anyways, that's what I'm going to run. The only other thing I might do is add a cross member right where my finger is, right where that hole is. That's where the battery tray was. The battery tray, it's flimsy anyways. It didn't really, add much support there. But I may add a cross member there, just make something up. I even thought about modding one of these. I have an extra one. I could cut it in half and stick it in there, but you'd have to space it out because the body, the chassis is a little wider there. That's where it starts to Y out on both sides. So anyway, you don't need that. It just may add a little bit of support. So I didn't really run this much, just around the garage here. I'll get some running video. I got a week. I'm going to be away from the house here, so I won't be doing any driving of this thing. So I just wanted to give a quick update. And my body mounts. That's my rear body mount. Just some Arma body post there. I think those are the old V2 Creighton shock tower mounts, probably for the rear. I don't remember. Maybe the front. I don't know. I have them in a box. And then the front, I used I'll show you in a minute there. That's this little guy here that holds the body on the front, and that's pretty good. It's not going anywhere. Normally, I would run these the other way, poking out the body, put a clip in there, but I can't do that because my servos and wiring are a bunch of big bird's nests under there that kind of gets in the way. So yeah, so let's get this body off. I'm going to pause the video here. Alright, so have that's my body mount. I didn't want to put any more holes in that body, so I just rigged that up there. It's a piece of Kydex sitting out here. Battery goes up front there, obviously, and clicks in and then gets strapped down. And that's my setup, right? You got an Axe 550 in there. I think that is the 2700 kV. And then I have the Axe, I can't remember the number there, that ESE. It's a Xeron Axe. And then I'm still running all the little servos for high and low and locking and unlocking the diffs, because I just wanted to do this as cheap as possible and buy the lockers and all that. That's like another thing, you got to tear everything apart. So I got rid of my receiver box. This is be a fair weather crawler, And so I got rid of that, and I'm running just the Traxxas receiver and Traxxas radio for now, and that's about it, right? So again, just wanted to show you what can be done with a little bit of thought and a little bit of cash. I think I got this to around 90 bucks, and the good thing is, if I wanted to, I could sell my body and all the other stuff. Probably could almost get that back. That body is a pretty expensive body, and it's almost always out of stock, at least at Jenny's anyways. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it. I got it all here. There's all the stuff that came off of it. It's a lot of stuff, and I weighed this thing going in. It's about 8.9, almost 9 pounds. And with the body on, without a battery, but with the body, obviously the big Traxxas body. So you got about 8.9 pounds with the axe system, with my 49 Dodge body, and the mods I did brings it into about 7.5 pounds, which isn't bad for a rig with a big heavy motor in there. If I want to run the Holmes Hobby Mini, I probably could on this rig. It would bring it down quite a bit with an Outrunner motor on there. Get rid of these servos. It'd probably knock some more weight off of this thing. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys. I know there's guys get these things, and there's like, you look on the videos, 5 mods you must do to your TRX6, and they say stuff like, you gotta raise up the sliders, or you gotta trim the body, or you gotta take those silly mufflers off. Yeah, that's all good, but you're still stuck with a giant 2-pound body with all that weight in there. I mean, it's going to run great on the trails. It'll look pretty cool, I guess. But if you want this thing to perform, here's mods here, 90 bucks. This thing, it's not going to perform like a G-Speed. It's still going to be a little top heavy for side hilling. But gee whiz, this thing, I'm telling you, just what I did around the yard here is just it's the cat's pajamas for this rig. This setup is cheap, and it performs, and you don't ruin your other stuff. And you can just buy all this stuff from Traxxas or Jenny's, right? All this stuff, it's just there. You just buy it. The only thing, your shock mods, you can just run the stock shocks on this. I would actually put soft springs all the way around if I was to do that. I think Traxxas has the heavy springs in the front and the softer ones in the rear, because you got 4 in the rear that's holding this up instead of just 2 like on a regular crawler. But I would run their softest all the way around, and you don't even need to do this mod. I'd make these little aluminum things here. They are little keepers that keep the spring from going off there. That's the only thing that I had to make. You can buy them on eBay. I think they're about $12 or so. So add another 24 bucks to your build with those. So anyways, that's about it. Maybe in a week or two, I'll get some running video up of this thing, and hopefully maybe it just gives you guys some ideas. I know I'm not like a YouTube superstar or anything, but I'm going to tell you, these are real mods that you can do without any special tools, with any fancy equipment, without piecing together a bunch of stuff off the internet that your hope's going to fit. This stuff is simple. You buy it from Traxxas and you bolt it on, right? The only thing I had to do was hack this back off. You don't even have to do that. That's the only real, that and the shock springs, you don't have to do those either. That's the only real, machine work I had to Dremel work I had to do. Everything else was pretty much bolt on, right? And if you run the stock Traxxas system, it's fine. I would suggest getting a different speed controller. The Traxxas speed controller, it's okay, but get the 1080 in there. They're like 45 bucks, and run the stock Traxxas motor, and you have that little program card. You can program a good bit, and even the Traxxas stock electrics are fine. I'm running the Axe in here, so I'm not really counting that part of this mod. It's more of a unnecessary luxury, to be honest with you. The brushless systems, that for you get $20 Holmes Hobby motor and a 1080, a $40-50 1080, and you're going to improve your setup. But if you're pinching pennies, just get that 1080 and replace that Traxxas speed controller. And with the Traxxas motor, it'll start up a lot smoother, and you have more options there with your settings. Right, it comes with that little programming card. But anyway, that's it, right? Other things I might do, I might change out these wheels. But today we're on a budget. We're gonna run this thing with what it comes with, and see how much better it is. Maybe change them out. I like to add a little weight up front. Cheapest way to do that is I put low melt in my wheels, because it costs me nothing, right? And adds a lot of weight. It's like heavier than brass, and it adds a couple of ounces on each side. It's rotating mass. It's not the greatest. You can, if you have your drag brake, at crazy, 100%, and you're flying and you let off, you could strip out some stuff. But anyway, that's what I run. And so that's it. That's maybe change those wheels out. I may get rid of this bumper. I'm going to run it with the Traxxas stuff, because that's what I'm trying to show you guys. But I may start making my own parts for this thing and making it a little better. But maybe add a bumper and get rid of this front 1/4 inch. So my approach is true 90%, 90 degrees, right? And maybe hide some of that with a clear piece of painted Lexan, something like that, just to hide some of that and make that cross member. But that's all stuff you don't really need to do. That's just stuff that I'm going to add, and maybe you would want to do it. I'm sure you could find a cross piece that would fit in there that you could chop up from maybe in your parts bin or whatever, just stiffen that up. It's really not that flimsy, because you got, I'm running these body mounts. That's the other thing. If you wanted to put a bed on here, you could probably put the axial Unimog bed on there. It's really hard to find. I was going to buy one for this build. I can't find one, so I'm going to run it without it, or make something. And for bodies, you have cab only bodies. You have now the J Concepts makes a creep cab only body that's really nice. You can get your 49 Dodge. I think that's what I'm running. This is actually an RGT body, but it's basically the same body. I bought this off of Asia Tees for like $18, and just threw my Jade Concept stickers on there from another build, and there you go, voila. Yeah, and there's a few other bodies now that since the low CG, the crawlers became popular. There's a lot of cab only bodies you can buy for like 25 bucks now. You don't have to buy a $70 body and throw away the bed, right, like you had to before, which was kind of ridiculous. So anyways, you got lots of body options, and very few bed options though. So there's a couple there that are 3D printed. That stuff's like super heavy. You might as well just like leave all that stuff back on there, if you start adding high weight back here. So anyway, that's enough jabbering. I got to get to work. We'll see you.